The 1950s were a golden age for American cars, but not every great machine got its due. While the icons took the spotlight, many innovative and brilliant vehicles quietly faded into obscurity. In this video, we're shining a light on 35 forgotten U.S. production cars from 1950 to 1959 machines that were ahead of their time, beautifully built, or just plain bold. Number 34. 1959 Studebaker Lark. The Studebaker Lark was a last-ditch gamble that turned into a brief but brilliant success for a company on the ropes. At a time when the Big Three dominated with sprawling full-size sedans, Studebaker dared to downsize with a compact car that fit the changing needs of American drivers. The Lark wasn't just smaller, it was smarter. Studebaker, already struggling by the late 1950s, couldn't afford an all-new platform. So, in a clever move, designers reimagined the existing full-size body by chopping the overhangs and shortening the wheelbase, saving development costs, while delivering a fresh product. The result was a compact sedan and wagon that looked clean, modern, and surprisingly roomy. What made the Lark so brilliant was how well it anticipated the coming wave of compact car demand. With urban congestion rising and a looming recession, many Americans were rethinking the need for oversized gas guzzlers. The Lark was easy to park, economical to run, and came in a wide range of trims, from basic economy models to the plush Regal. Under the hood, it offered either a thrifty inline-six or a punchy V8, making it flexible enough for budget-conscious families or buyers who still wanted performance. Critically, the Lark gave Studebaker a much-needed shot of sales adrenaline. In its debut year of 1959, it helped the company post its first profit in years. Though Studebaker wouldn't survive the next decade, the Lark's short-term success proved that ingenuity and resourcefulness could still beat the odds. Today, the 1959 Studebaker Lark stands as one of the last truly clever plays by an independent American automaker, a compact car that arrived just in time and did almost everything right. Number 33. 1957 Studebaker Scotsman. In an era dominated by chrome, tail fins, and over-the-top styling, the Studebaker Scotsman of 1957 looked like it had wandered in from a different planetone ruled entirely by accountants. Born out of financial necessity, the Scotsman was a stripped-down version of Studebaker's champion sedan, deliberately built to be as cheap as humanly possible. Everything that could be removed or simplified was: no radio, no carpet, no chrome trim, not even armrests or ashtrays came standard. The windshield washer was a hand pump, and the hubcaps were painted steel instead of polished metal. Even the rear window was fixed in place, it didn't roll down. The marketing strategy behind the Scotsman was equally audacious. Studebaker deliberately priced it at $1,776, an intentional nod to the American Revolution, making it the cheapest car in America that year. To hit that price point, the company even used cardboard door panels instead of fiberboard and shipped the cars with minimal paint. What's astonishing is that this no-frills approach actually worked. At a time when middle-class families were tightening their belts due to an economic downturn, the Scotsman found an eager audience. Studebaker expected it to flop. Instead, it sold more than 30,000 units in its first year. More than just a penny pincher's delight, the Scotsman also proved surprisingly frugal on the road. With its lightweight body and simple six-cylinder engine, it could deliver over 30 miles per gallon, an unheard-of figure for a full-sized American sedan in the 1950s. And if buyers really wanted more power, Studebaker even offered a V8 upgrade at extra cost. In hindsight, the Scotsman was a bizarre yet brilliant exercise in minimalist engineering, proof that sometimes less truly is more. While it may not have turned heads at the drive-in, it helped keep Studebaker's books in the black and became a cult favorite for lovers of industrial austerity. Number 32. 1956 Plymouth Fury. When Plymouth introduced the Fury in 1956, it wasn't just launching a new carrot, it was making a bold statement that the brand could do speed and style just as well as its more glamorous corporate cousins. At a time when Plymouth was mostly associated with sensible sedans and middle-of-the-road family haulers, the Fury arrived as a brash, two-door hardtop that oozed performance swagger. Only available in a distinctive off-white color with anodized gold trim, the car practically shouted for attention without ever needing tail fins to do it. Beneath its sleek skin lived a high-compression 303 cubic inch polysphere Vate engine tuned to deliver 240 horsepower in base form and up to 270 horsepower when equipped with dual 4-barrel carburetors. That kind of output made it one of the fastest American production cars of its day, with 0 to 60 times dipping below 10 seconds, a figure that placed it in genuine muscle car territory before the term even existed. It also handled better than most of its Detroit peers thanks to a stiffened suspension and a relatively low curb weight. What made the 1956 Fury especially brilliant, however, was its positioning. Unlike the big-dollar performance coupes from Chrysler or the flashy Chevys of the day, the Fury offered muscle and flair in a relatively affordable package. It was a sleeper hit, catching enthusiasts off guard with its aggressive personality wrapped in a Plymouth badge. Only 4,485 units were made that year, making it a rare beast then and a forgotten gem now. In many ways, the original Fury laid the groundwork for the performance arms race that would define American cars in the 1960s. Though later Furies would become larger and more luxurious, the 1956 model remains a fascinating audacious rebel from a conservative brand that dared to go fast. Number 31. 1958 AMC Rambler American. By the late 1950s, the American automobile landscape was dominated by fins, flash, and fuel-thirsty giants, leaving little room for compact sensibility. But in 1958, as a recession loomed and buyers began questioning the practicality of bloated sedans, AMC President George Romney made a bold move, resurrected the long-discontinued Nash Rambler to create the Rambler American. And remarkably, he did it not by designing a new car from scratch, but by dusting off early 1950s tooling that AMC still had lying around. The Rambler American was essentially a rebodied version of the old 1954 Nash Rambler, given just enough cosmetic updates to feel new, but underneath, it was yesterday's engineering on today's budget. Yet somehow, that budget-conscious strategy worked brilliantly. The car was compact, fuel-efficient, easy to park, and built like a tank, qualities suddenly in high demand during the economic downturn. AMC didn't have the money to retool or market heavily, but the simplicity of the Rambler American made it affordable for the company to build and for families to buy. With a proven flathead 6-cylinder engine and little in the way of gimmicks, the car was as basic as they came, but in an era of excess that felt refreshing. Its upright greenhouse and tight dimensions gave it excellent visibility and surprisingly good interior space. Though it looked like a relic from another era, the Rambler American sold over 30,000 units in a partial year and made AMC the only American automaker to increase sales in 1958. It was a forgotten marvel of pragmatic design born out of thrift, yet right on time. While Detroit's Big Three scrambled to catch up with compact offerings of their own, AMC's old new car had already found its niche. The Rambler American didn't just fill a market gap, it proved that smart timing and recycled engineering could still outwit the giants. Number 30. 1958 Imperial Crown. In 1958, Chrysler's Imperial division pulled out all the stops in a desperate bid to outlux Cadillac, outstyle Lincoln, and outtech everyone else on the road. The result was the Imperial Crown, a leviathan of metal, chrome, and outrageous ambition. Though officially a separate mark from Chrysler, the Imperial was marketed as the thinking man's luxury car, and the 1958 model made sure no one missed the message. At nearly 19 feet long and weighing over 2.5 tons, the Crown was not just a carrot, was a declaration of opulence. But beyond its sheer scale, the 1958 Imperial Crown was a haven for strange and fascinating innovations. Most famously, it introduced the world's first production cruise control system, dubbed Autopilot, which allowed drivers to set and maintain a highway speed with the twist of a dial. This groundbreaking feature predated modern cruise control by decades and added a layer of futuristic charm to an already audacious car. Paired with Chrysler's signature push-button, torque-flight transmission and power everything from seats to windows to the antennae, Imperial was as much a technological experiment as it was a luxury barge. Stylistically, the car leaned heavily into jet age fantasy. It featured freestanding headlights on chrome stalks, exaggerated tail fins, and a massive gun-sight taillight setup that made it look like a spaceship ready for liftoff. Inside, the cabin was all thick leather, gold anodized trim, and wraparound dashboards that embraced the driver like a cockpit. Despite these wild traits, sales fell short due to the 1958 recession, and the car quickly faded from mainstream memory. But for a brief moment, the Imperial Crown was the ultimate expression of American techno-luxury brilliance, bizarre, and absolutely unforgettable. Number 29. 1958 Packard Hawk. By 1958, Packard was on its last breath, and the Hawk was its dramatic final gasp car, so unusual and defiant that it remains both misunderstood and underrated. The Packard Hawk wasn't a new car in the traditional sense, but a modified Studebaker Golden Hawk, rebranded and given a bizarre facelift in a last-ditch effort to keep the Packard name alive. To accomplish this, Studebaker Packard engineers grafted a fiberglass nose onto the Hawk body, creating a low-slung front end with a wide-mouth grille that looked part Thunderbird, part Buick, and part science fiction. It was long, lean, and utterly polarizing, even in an era known for automotive excess. Under the hood, though, the 1958 Packard Hawk was nothing short of brilliant. It came standard with a 289 cubic inch V8 engine, supercharged by a McCulloch blower to produce 275 horsepower. That gave it true performance cred, capable of hitting 60 miles per hour in just over 8 seconds, a figure that embarrassed many so-called muscle cars a decade later. And while the styling was controversial, the driving experience was composed and surprisingly refined, with luxury-grade appointments like full leather interiors and a padded dashboard. Only 588 Packard Hawks were built, making it one of the rarest American production cars of the decade. But what makes it so compelling is the strange duality it represents. A car born of desperation that still managed to be fast, luxurious, and strangely stylish in its own unconventional way. It was a farewell letter from a dying Marquis, signed in chrome and fiberglass. Though dismissed by many as a badge-engineered oddity, the Packard Hawk stands today as a bizarre yet brilliant swan song for one of America's great automotive pioneers. Number 28. 1958 Edsel. Citation, Corsair. The 1958 Edsel is perhaps the most infamous automotive flop in American history, but lost beneath the jokes and ridicule is a car that was actually filled with forward-thinking ideas and bold design choices. Launched with massive fanfare by Ford Motor Company, the Edsel brand was intended to slot between Ford and Mercury, offering a unique identity with futuristic styling and advanced technology. The Citation and Corsair models were the top-tier offerings, built on the Mercury platform and powered by potent V8 engines, with the Citation's 410 cubic inch Super Express delivering up to 345 horsepower. But what really set the Edsel apart were its strange and fascinating features. Most notorious was the Teletouch transmission system, push-button gear selector located in the center of the steering wheel hub. While it looked space-age, the system proved finicky and was prone to failure, especially since the electrical controls sat dangerously close to the horn ring. Still, it was a bold step toward integrated steering wheel controls, something common today. The Edsel also featured self-adjusting brakes, a speed warning system, and a rolling dome speedometer, advanced features that were far ahead of their time. Design-wise, the Edsel was nothing if not polarizing. Its now infamous vertical grille earned it unflattering nicknames, but at the time, Ford designers believed it would create an instantly recognizable brand face. The car's long, flowing lines, scalloped side trim, and spaceship-like taillights were pure late 50s jet-age fantasy. Yet, due to poor marketing, a misread consumer climate, and a nasty economic recession, the Edsel was declared a failure before it had a real chance. Still, for all its flaws, the 1958 Edsel was a brilliant oddball rolling laboratory of innovation disguised as a mid-tier family car. It dared to be different, and in doing so, became unforgettable. Number 27. 1957 1957 Ford Ranchero. When the Ford Ranchero hit the streets, it blurred the line between car and truck in a way that no American production vehicle had done before. Based on the full-size Ford two-door ranch wagon platform, the Ranchero offered passenger car styling and comfort with the practicality of a pickup bed. It was a bold move, born out of Ford's recognition that many Americans needed a vehicle that could serve dual purposes, hauling on weekdays and cruising in style on weekends. Unlike previous car-based haulers cobbled together by aftermarket modifiers, the Ranchero was factory-built and engineered with care. Its design was seamless. From the B-pillar forward, it was virtually identical to the ranch wagon, while the rear deck was replaced with a fully integrated steel cargo box. Ford offered the Ranchero in both standard and custom trims, allowing buyers to outfit it as a work vehicle or a stylish personal hauler. Powertrain choices ranged from the reliable 144 horsepower straight-six to a 212 horsepower Thunderbird V8, giving the Ranchero solid muscle for its time. Its payload capacity of around 850 pounds meant it could carry serious loads while maintaining the road manners of a sedan. And with options like two-tone paint, full-wheel covers, and chrome trim, it didn't look out of place in suburbia. The Ranchero was not just a curiosity, it was a market pioneer. It predated Chevrolet's El Camino by 2 full years and carved out a small but loyal niche. Though sales slowed after its initial run, the Ranchero proved that practicality and style could coexist in a single, unconventional vehicle. In hindsight, the 1957 Ford Ranchero was more than a novelty, was a harbinger of crossover utility decades before the term existed. Number 26. 1957 Ford Fairlane 500 Skyliner. In an era obsessed with futuristic gadgets and jet-age dreams, the 1957 Ford Fairlane 500 Skyliner delivered something that seemed straight out of science fiction: fully retractable, all-steel hardtop convertible. At the push of a button, the entire roof lifted, folded, and disappeared into the trunk, all orchestrated by 7 electric motors, 4 locking mechanisms, 10 solenoids, and over 600 feet of wire. This mechanical ballet amazed crowds at auto shows and dealership lots, firmly planting the Skyliner in the cultural zeitgeist of the late 1950s. What made the Skyliner truly brilliant wasn't just the show-stopping roof, but the sheer ambition of its engineering. No other American automaker at the time dared to mass-produce such a complex and delicate mechanism. Yet Ford pushed forward, believing consumers were ready for an advanced blend of style and technology. Despite the added weight and reduced trunk space, the Skyliner still offered a smooth ride, decent performance, and the prestige of owning something undeniably unique. Under the hood, it was no slouch either. Buyers could equip the Skyliner with Ford's Y-block V8s, including the potent 312 cubic inch Thunderbird Special that churned out up to 245 horsepower. With its long, low body lines, panoramic windshield, and jet-age details like tail fins and chrome galore, it stood as a visual icon of mid-century excess. Though production only lasted through 1959, and the cost and complexity limited its long-term appeal, the Skyliner remains a marvel of its time. It wasn't just a convertible, it was a rolling showcase of what American engineering dared to dream. In the world of forgotten brilliance, the 1957 Ford Fairlane 500 Skyliner was truly ahead of its time. Number 25. 1957 Mercury Turnpike Cruiser. The Mercury Turnpike Cruiser was one of the boldest expressions of jet-age optimism ever to roll off an American assembly line. Designed to celebrate Mercury's participation as the official pace car of that year's Indianapolis 500, it was a limited production flagship packed with futuristic features that bordered on science fiction. At first glance, its unique styling set it apart, featuring a cantilevered roofline, reverse slanted rear window, and twin air intakes above the windshield that resembled jet engine scoops. These weren't just cosmetic flourishes. The breezeway rear window could be lowered to improve cabin ventilation, a practical innovation decades ahead of its time. The Turnpike Cruiser's dashboard looked like the cockpit of a spaceship, with a keyboard-controlled push-button transmission selector, ribbon-style speedometer, and warning lights for everything from engine temperature to low fuel. Optional features included a trip computer, automatic seat adjustment tied to ignition activation, and even a memory function for the driver settings. Beneath the flashy surface was serious hardware, a 368 cubic inch V8 engine producing up to 290 horsepower paired to a Merc-O-Matic transmission. The car could cruise effortlessly at highway speeds, living up to its namesake. Despite its innovation and theatrical presence, the Turnpike Cruiser struggled to gain lasting traction with buyers. It was expensive, polarizing in appearance, and launched during a time when consumer tastes were rapidly shifting. Still, it sold over 16,000 units in its debut, year more than some of its contemporaries, but far from a commercial hit. Today, the 1957 Mercury Turnpike Cruiser is celebrated by enthusiasts as a stunning example of design, excess, and mechanical ambition, a car that dared to be different and was truly brilliant in its audacity. Number 24. 1957 AMC Rambler Rebel. The AMC Rambler Rebel was a true wolf in sheep's clothing, one of the earliest examples of a factory-built muscle sedan before the term muscle car was even coined. At a glance, it looked like just another sensible mid-size Rambler, known more for economy than excitement. But under the hood, AMC dropped in their brand new 327 cubic inch V8, which pumped out an impressive 255 horsepower. That engine was mated to either a 3-speed manual or a Flash-O-Matic automatic transmission, and the car could rocket from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 7.5 seconds. That kind of performance in 1957 was shocking, especially from a 4-door sedan built by a company not known for hot rod. In fact, only the fuel-injected Corvette was faster that year, making the Rebel the second quickest American production car on sale. The Rebel also featured upgrades to its suspension, brakes, and rear axle to handle the extra power. This wasn't just a gimmick or a straight-line cruiser. Styling-wise, it was subtly distinct from other Ramblers. Tone paint, special Rebel badges, and minor chrome tweaks gave it an understated yet aggressive look. AMC planned to offer Bendix electronic fuel injection as an option, which would have made it the first mass-produced EFI-equipped American car, but reliability issues caused the idea to be scrapped at the last minute. Only around 1,500 Rebels were built, all in that single model year, making them extremely rare today. But their influence is undeniable. The 1957 Rambler Rebel proved that high performance didn't have to come in a flashy coupe and foreshadowed the formula Detroit's Big Three would adopt in the following decade. It was brilliant, bold, and way ahead of its time. Number 23. 1956 1956 Studebaker Golden Hawk. In 1956, Studebaker threw convention out the window and introduced the Golden Hawk, a mid-size 2-door coupe that was as bold in performance as it was in style. While other automakers were leaning into sleek lines and modest power, Studebaker went the opposite way by stuffing a massive 352 cubic inch Packard V8 under the hood of its sleek body. That engine churned out an astonishing 275 horsepower, which was more than enough to make the Golden Hawk one of the fastest American production cars of its time. In fact, it was neck and neck in performance with the legendary Chrysler 300B, a car that cost significantly more. The Golden Hawk wasn't just about brute force, it had flair. Its aggressive stance, unique tail fins, wide grille, and a hood bulge that hinted at the beast lurking underneath gave it an unmistakable presence. Unlike many cars of the era that emphasized cruising comfort over speed, the Golden Hawk made no apologies for its sporty intentions. The light weight of the Studebaker platform paired with Packard muscle gave it an excellent power-to-weight ratio, making it surprisingly agile. Inside, the Golden Hawk featured a full set of aircraft-inspired gauges and upscale materials, reminding drivers they were behind the wheel of something special. Despite its brilliance, it didn't sell in huge numbers. With just over 4,100 units built in 1956, the car remains a rare gem. Yet it helped cement Studebaker's image as an innovative, risk-taking company willing to punch above its weight. The Golden Hawk offered big block muscle years before muscle cars were cool, and it deserves recognition for blazing a trail that others would follow a decade later. Number 22. 1956 DeSoto Adventurer. The DeSoto Adventurer was the brand's answer to the growing demand for high-performance, high-style automobiles, and it did not disappoint. This limited edition hardtop coupe was a departure from DeSoto's traditionally conservative lineup, signaling a bold new direction rooted in speed, power, and exclusivity. Under the hood was a fire-breathing 341 cubic inch Hemi V8, outfitted with dual 4-barrel carburetors that produced a staggering 320 horsepower and enormous figure for the mid-50s. This made the Adventurer the fastest DeSoto ever built, capable of exceeding 140 miles per hour in speed trials. But the Adventurer wasn't just fast, it was flashy. It came exclusively in a striking color scheme of white and gold, with matching gold anodized trim and custom interior details that set it apart from any other car on the road. Even the tires featured gold accent bands, reinforcing the car's image as a premium performance vehicle for buyers who wanted something truly special. Only around 990 units were produced in 1956, making it as rare as it was raucous. The car also marked a turning point in Chrysler's performance hierarchy, giving DeSoto a rare moment in the spotlight before the brand's slow decline. Although it never reached the sales heights of its corporate siblings, the Adventurer laid groundwork for Chrysler's later muscle machines and performance-oriented marketing. It proved that even a mid-tier marque could flex its engineering muscle and create something exhilarating. Today, the 1956 DeSoto Adventurer stands as a testament to the creativity and ambition that defined American automaking during the jet-Aegean underrated icon of speed and spectacle. Number 21. 1956 1956 Dual Gia. The Dual Gia was unlike anything else on American roads. Low-slung, Italian-bodied convertible with Detroit firepower under the hood and Hollywood glamour in its bones. Built on a Dodge chassis and powered by Chrysler's legendary Hemi V8, the Dual Gia represented a transatlantic marriage of brute performance and exquisite European style. Its coachwork was handcrafted by Carrozzeria Gia of Turin, one of Italy's premier design houses, lending the car a sculpted, refined presence that turned heads wherever it went. But beneath its tailored body lived a brawny Dodge drivetrain, typically a 260 or 270 horsepower Hemi V8, paired with a rugged TorqueFlite automatic transmission. Only 117 Dual Gias were produced between 1956 and 1958, and each was a bespoke luxury item. Buyers included Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Peter Lawford, and even a young Ronald Reagan, making the car practically the unofficial ride of the Rat Pack. It sold for over $7,000 at a time when a Cadillac Series 62 could be had for less, placing it firmly in the realm of the ultra-elite. Despite its limited numbers, the Dual Gia played an outsized role in elevating the idea of the American Grand Touring car. It wasn't a sports car in the European sense, but rather a boulevard cruiser for the well-heeled who wanted effortless power, exclusivity, and world-class design. The car's rarity, pedigree, and celebrity association have turned it into a prized collectible today, though it remains largely unknown to the general public. The 1956 Dual Gia was brilliant not for its sales volume, but for its sheer audacity, a boutique machine that whispered sophistication and roared American muscle. Number 20. 1956 Continental Mark II. The Continental Mark II wasn't just a carrot, was Ford Motor Company's statement to the world that American luxury could rival Europe's best. Priced at an astonishing $10,000 more than a Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud, at the time the Mark II was the most expensive American production car of the era. It was sold under the new Continental division, a standalone brand created solely to produce this one model with no cost-cutting compromises. Every Mark II was essentially hand-built with the precision and care of a coach-built classic. Its restrained, elegant design stood in stark contrast to the chrome-laden excesses of the 1950s. Featuring clean lines, minimal ornamentation, and a long, low silhouette, it radiated understated sophistication. Under the hood was a refined 368 cubic inch Lincoln V8, delivering 285 horsepower and paired with a 3-speed automatic transmission. Each car received over 300 pounds of sound-deadening material, and interior appointments included hand-selected leather and fine carpeting. Buyers of the Mark II read like a who's who of the 1950s: elite Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, Elizabeth Taylor, and the Shah of Iran all owned one. Yet, despite its prestige, the Continental Mark II was a commercial failure. Ford lost thousands on every unit sold, and the Continental division was folded back into Lincoln by 1958. Still, the Mark II's brilliance lies in what it represented: an American company building a world-class luxury car with no compromises. It foreshadowed the rise of the personal luxury coupe and left behind a legacy of style, exclusivity, and engineering excellence. Today, it remains one of the most revered and collectible American cars of the post-war era. Number 19. 1955 Dodge La Femme. The Dodge La Femme was one of the most unusual marketing experiments of the decade. A car explicitly designed and sold for the modern woman. At a time when most automakers treated female buyers as an afterthought, Dodge tried to capture their attention by creating a special edition of the custom Royal Lancer tailored to feminine tastes. The La Femme came finished in a distinctive two-tone paint scheme of sapphire white and heather rose, a soft pink hue that set it apart from the sea of pastel and chrome. But the real novelty was inside. The interior upholstery featured specially designed pink tapestry fabric with rosebud patterns and pale pink vinyl trim. Each La Femme came with a matching set of accessories stored in a built-in compartment behind the front seat: a pink purse containing a compact, lipstick, cigarette case, comb, and coin purse, along with a raincoat, umbrella, and rain bonnet, all color coordinated. Dodge's idea was that women would feel personally catered to and valued with a vehicle designed around their lifestyle. Mechanically, the La Femme was identical to the standard custom Royal Lancer and came equipped with a 270 horsepower Red Ram Hemi V8, delivering solid performance for the time. Yet, despite the thoughtful touches and flashy debut, the La Femme failed to gain traction in the marketplace. Fewer than 1,500 units were sold in 1955, and a lightly revised version in 1956 fared no better. Still, the Dodge La Femme stands out today as a rare and intriguing artifact of mid-century gender marketing and early, if flawed, attempt to acknowledge female car buyers in a male-dominated industry. Its pink glamour and purpose-built accessories now make it a highly sought-after oddity among collectors. Number 18. 1955 Studebaker President Speedster. In 1955, Studebaker introduced the President Speedster as a bold attempt to reposition itself as a builder of sporty, upscale cars. This limited production halo model was based on the President hardtop but heavily customized to stand out from the pack. What made the Speedster truly unforgettable was its flamboyant appearance, offered in a variety of two-tone and even tri-tone paint schemes that looked more suited to a concept car than a production model. The Speedster featured liberal use of chrome, including a massive toothy grille, wire wheel covers, and pronounced side trim. Inside, the cabin was just as flashy, with quilted leather upholstery, engine-turned dash trim, and a full complement of gauges that rivaled aircraft instrumentation. Standard features included power steering, power brakes, and a padded dashboard equipment that was far from common in mid-priced cars of the era. Under the hood, the Speedster packed a hot-rodded 259 cubic inch V with a 4-barrel carburetor, producing 175 horsepower. Combined with its relatively light weight, the Speedster could sprint from 0 to 60 in around 9 seconds, impressive for a full-size car in 1955. That made it one of the quickest American cars of its year, second only to a few performance icons like the Chrysler 300. Just over 2,000 units were built, and while it didn't reverse Studebaker's declining fortunes, the Speedster succeeded in turning heads and generating showroom traffic. Today, the President Speedster is celebrated for its audacious styling and rarity, a forgotten gem that captured the spirit of 50s excess and ambition. In retrospect, it was a daring move by Studebaker to inject some excitement into its lineup, even if only briefly. Number 17. 1955 Packard Caribbean. The Packard Caribbean was the swan song of a once proud luxury automaker trying to reclaim its place atop America's automotive hierarchy. Introduced as a halo convertible model, the Caribbean was Packard's most expensive and technologically ambitious offering, an opulent machine built to compete with the Cadillac El Dorado and Lincoln Continental. Its design was a radical departure from Packard's traditionally conservative styling, featuring a long, low silhouette, flamboyant tri-tone paint schemes, and a heavily chromed front end that gleamed with mid-century swagger. The 1955 model was particularly notable because it introduced Packard's brand new overhead valve V8 engine, displacing 352 cubic inches and producing 275 horsepower. That was a significant leap forward, as Packard had previously relied on aging inline-8 engines, while competitors had long since moved to modern V8s. Paired with the advanced twin Ultramatic automatic transmission, the Caribbean delivered smooth, refined performance that finally brought the Mark up to speed with the Big Three. Equally groundbreaking was the Caribbean's self-leveling torsion-level suspension system, which used electric motors and torsion bars to automatically adjust ride height for optimal comfort and handling technology, far ahead of its time. Inside, the car was decked out in lavish leather upholstery, a push-button radio, power windows, power seat, and a power-operated convertible top. Every detail screamed prestige and exclusivity. Yet, despite its brilliance, the Caribbean couldn't save Packard from its downward spiral. Only 554 units were produced in 1955, and financial woes soon led to Packard's merger with Studebaker. Today, the Caribbean stands as a brilliant but tragic reminder of Packard's final attempt to reclaim its former glory and extravagant showpiece, built on hope, innovation, and fading grandeur. Number 16. 1955 Chrysler C300. The Chrysler C300 is widely considered America's first true muscle-carrying elegant brute that combined formal styling with NASCAR-ready power. It wasn't flashy or chrome-drenched like many of its contemporaries. Instead, the C300 exuded quiet confidence with a clean, upright grille, tasteful lines, and a no-nonsense stance. But beneath its restrained exterior lurked something revolutionary: a massive 331 cubic inch Hemi V8, producing a staggering 300 horsepower. That figure wasn't just a marketing number, it made the C300 the most powerful American production car of 1955. The engine was essentially a race-tuned version of Chrysler's firepower Hemi, equipped with solid lifters, dual 4-barrel carburetors, and a performance camshaft. Power was sent to the rear wheels via a heavy-duty 2-speed PowerFlight automatic transmission, and the suspension was beefed up to handle high-speed driving. The C300 wasn't just fast, it dominated stock car racing. It won 20 out of 40 NASCAR Grand National races in 1955, instantly earning a reputation as the banker's hot rod. Chrysler even marketed it as America's most powerful car, and few doubted the claim. Inside, the car was no stripped-down racer. The interior was well appointed with leather seating, full instrumentation, and an upscale dashboard layout that echoed European GTs more than Detroit cruisers. Only 1,725 units were built, making it an exclusive and expensive machine intended for elite enthusiasts. The Chrysler C300 launched the legendary letter car series that would define Chrysler performance through the 1960s. Today, it's revered not just as a precursor to the muscle car era, but as a sophisticated performance sedan that shattered expectations in a decade defined by fins and flash. Number 15. 1954 Nash Metropolitan. The 1954 Nash Metropolitan was one of the most unusual American cars of its time. A tiny British-built subcompact imported by an American company long before small cars were fashionable. Developed by Nash Kelvinator in partnership with Britain's Austin Motor Company, the Metropolitan was aimed squarely at budget-conscious city drivers who wanted a stylish, fuel-efficient car that didn't take up much space. At only 13 feet long, the Metropolitan was smaller than anything else on American roads and looked almost toy-like, parked next to its oversized contemporaries. Despite its diminutive size, the car carried surprising flair. Early models came in chic two-tone paint schemes, with chrome accents and a smiling egg crate grille that gave it charm and personality. Power came from a tiny 1.2-liter four-cylinder engine borrowed from Austin, making around 42 horsepower. That may not sound like much, but with a curb weight under 2,000 pounds, the Metropolitan could reach 60 miles per hour eventually. What made the Metropolitan brilliant wasn't speed, it was its sheer practicality and forward-thinking design. With excellent fuel economy, easy parking, and low cost of ownership, it was ideal for urban dwellers and first-time buyers. Its cabin was surprisingly comfortable, offering full-size seating for two and a trunk accessible from behind the folding rear seat. The car debuted in 1954 and stayed in production through 1962, wearing both Nash and later Hudson and AMC badges. It became a cult favorite, especially among women buyers, and helped prove that there was a viable market for compact cars in America long before the import boom. Today, the Metropolitan is fondly remembered as a quirky, lovable oddball that dared to be different and helped redefine what a car could be in the post-war era. Number 14. 1954 Hudson Italia. The Hudson Italia was one of the most exotic and ambitious vehicles ever produced by an American automaker, even if it barely made it beyond the prototype stage. Designed as a limited production halo car to showcase Hudson's styling prowess, the Italia was a collaborative effort between Hudson Motor Car Company and Carrozzeria Touring of Milan, Italy. The result was a sleek, hand-built GT coupe that looked like it belonged on the streets of Rome rather than in a Detroit showroom. The Italia's body was constructed using Touring's patented Superleggera Methadone ultralight aluminum skin over a steel tube frame, delivering both elegance and rigidity. Its futuristic lines featured dramatic scalloped fenders, wraparound bumpers, a roof-integrated rear spoiler, and panoramic glass, all of which made it look like a spaceship compared to Hudson's conventional sedans. Inside, the car was equally opulent, offering leather upholstery, a full suite of instruments, and stylish design elements borrowed from Italian sports cars. Under the hood, the Italia was less exotic but still respectable. It ran a 102 horsepower, 202 cubic inch, inline-six engine derived from the Hudson Jet, paired with a 3-speed manual transmission. Though not a performance powerhouse, the Italia was light enough to deliver lively handling and a top speed near 100 miles per hour. Only 26 examples were ever produced, making it one of the rarest American production cars of the era. Its high price, an early $5,000 in 1954, placed it in competition with European exotics, not mainstream rivals. Though it never went into mass production, the Hudson Italia remains a dazzling reminder of what American design could achieve when it dared to dream beyond the assembly line. Number 13. 1954 Kaiser Darren. The Kaiser Darren was America's first production fiberglass sports car, beating the Chevrolet Corvette to market by just a few months and delivering a striking blend of innovation and eccentricity. Designed by legendary stylist Howard "Dutch" Darren, the car was conceived as a halo vehicle to elevate the image of Kaiser Motors at a time when independent automakers were struggling to survive. Its long, swooping fiberglass body was unlike anything else on American roads, featuring a trademark heart-shaped grille and a low-slung, European-style profile that was more art than automobile. But what truly made the Darren brilliant were its groundbreaking features. Most famously, it had sliding doors that disappeared into the front fender, a party trick no other production car has ever replicated. These doors allowed for easy entry and exit even in tight spaces and gave the car a futuristic edge that matched its radical appearance. Under the hood, the Darren was powered by a modest Willys F-head 6-cylinder engine, producing around 90 horsepower. Though not a performance monster, the car was lightweight and nimble, offering respectable driving dynamics for the era. A few dealer-installed supercharged versions bumped performance even further, catering to enthusiasts who wanted more bite with their beauty. The Darren entered production in 1954 but was doomed from the start. Kaiser was winding down its car operations, and only 435 units were ever built before the company exited the passenger car business entirely. Still, the Darren stands today as a beautiful bold experiment in design and engineering that dared to imagine a different kind of American sports car. Its rarity and charm have made it a beloved collectible, and its sliding doors remain one of the quirkiest and most ingenious features in automotive history. Number 12. 1953 Studebaker Starliner. The 1953 Studebaker Starliner was a bold design statement that set the brand apart from the rest of the automotive pack with its sleek, futuristic lines. Crafted under the visionary guidance of Raymond Loewy, Studebaker's legendary industrial designer, the Starliner featured a pillarless hardtop coupe design that seemed ahead of its time even by today's standards. Its low, long hood and fastback roofline gave it a dramatic silhouette that was both elegant and aerodynamic, a stark contrast to the more bulbous, chrome-heavy cars common in the early 50s. The Starliner's innovative styling was matched by thoughtful engineering. It was built on the same platform as the Champion, but distinguished itself with its special two-door hardtop body and a sportier suspension setup that improved handling and road manners. Power came from Studebaker's reliable inline six-cylinder engines, with optional V8 power plants introduced shortly after the initial release, offering a decent balance between performance and fuel economy for the era. Although not a powerhouse, the Starliner was nimble and quick enough to impress buyers who wanted a car that looked as good as it drove. Despite its striking appearance and advanced design, the Starliner struggled in the marketplace, overshadowed by larger, more flamboyantly styled models from the big three automakers. Production numbers were modest, and while it never reached mass-market popularity, the Starliner became a favorite among design enthusiasts and collectors for its rarity and distinctiveness. Its place in automotive history is significant, however, as a car that dared to push styling boundaries and elevate American car design into a new era. Today, the 1953 Studebaker Starliner remains a beloved classic for its pioneering design, embodying the spirit of innovation and artistry that Studebaker represented in the post-war years. Number 11. 1953 Cadillac El Dorado. The Cadillac El Dorado was a shining symbol of post-war American luxury and automotive innovation, representing Cadillac's answer to the growing demand for exclusive, high-end convertibles. Introduced as a limited production, ultra-luxurious roadster, the El Dorado was built to celebrate Cadillac's 50th anniversary, making it a collector's dream from the start. Only 532 examples were produced, each hand assembled with meticulous attention to detail, underscoring its elite status. Styling-wise, the El Dorado pushed boundaries with the industry's first wraparound windshield, providing a panoramic view and a futuristic look that set the standard for the decade. Its long, low body was accentuated by dramatic tail fins, a hallmark of Cadillac's 50s design language, along with a chromed grille and elegant wire wheels. The convertible top was power-operated, a rarity at the time, adding to the car's high-tech allure. Under the hood, the El Dorado packed Cadillac's potent 494 cubic-inch V8 engine, delivering 345 horsepower. This powerhouse allowed the El Dorado to cruise effortlessly at highway speeds, while maintaining the quiet, refined ride expected from a flagship luxury car. The car also featured power steering and power brakes, which were advanced features enhancing driver comfort and control. Inside, the cabin was lavishly appointed with hand-stitched leather seats, deep pile carpeting, and polished chrome accents. A full complement of gauges and luxurious amenities such as an AM radio and air conditioning underscored the El Dorado's role as a rolling palace. Though its price tag was sky-high, the 1953 El Dorado cemented Cadillac's reputation as the pinnacle of American luxury and innovation. Today, it remains a highly prized collector's item, admired for its stunning design, cutting-edge features, and its place as a timeless symbol of 50s opulence. Number 10. 1953 Oldsmobile Fiesta. The Oldsmobile Fiesta was a rare and striking special edition that embodied the era's fascination with glamour and innovation, blending high-end luxury with sleek styling and cutting-edge features. Built on the Oldsmobile 98 platform, the Fiesta was introduced as a limited production convertible designed to showcase the brand's technological prowess and attract affluent buyers seeking exclusivity. Only 458 were produced, making it one of Oldsmobile's most collectible and coveted models from the early 50s. One of the Fiesta's most eye-catching features was its expansive panoramic wraparound windshield, which extended far into the doors and offered an unparalleled field of vision while giving the car a futuristic appearance. This windshield was paired with a power-operated convertible top that retracted smoothly into a hidden compartment, emphasizing convenience and style. The exterior design included two-tone paint schemes, chrome accents, and distinctive trim that set the Fiesta apart from standard Oldsmobile models. Inside, the Fiesta was equally impressive. The interior was trimmed with sumptuous leather upholstery and featured a host of luxury touches, including power windows, a full array of gauges, and an AM radio thin, a high-tech option. The dashboard was beautifully crafted, balancing aesthetics with functionality, while the seats offered exceptional comfort for both driver and passengers. Under the hood, the Fiesta was powered by Oldsmobile's robust rocket V8 engine, which delivered strong performance with smooth acceleration and reliability. Paired with a Hydra-matic automatic transmission, the car provided a refined driving experience that matched its luxurious appointments. Though the Oldsmobile Fiesta was short-lived, it remains a brilliant example of early 50s American luxury and engineering ambition. Today, it is prized by collectors for its rarity, elegance, and role as a showcase of Oldsmobile's finest craftsmanship during a golden era. Number 9. 1953 Buick Skylark. The Buick Skylark was a dazzling celebration of General Motors' 50th anniversary, combining exquisite styling with advanced engineering to create one of the most beautiful and exclusive American convertibles of its era. Introduced as a limited edition model, only 1,100 units were built, each hand-assembled with meticulous attention to detail, making the Skylark a rare and highly coveted collector's item today. Designed to compete with the best luxury convertibles from Cadillac and Packard, the Skylark was Buick's answer to a growing market for high-end personal luxury cars. Styling was the Skylark's standout feature, with sweeping curves, a low-slung profile, and a beautifully sculpted body that emphasized elegance and motion even at a standstill. The car's distinctive grille, sleek fenders, and prominent tail fins showcased Buick's mastery of the jet-age design language that defined the 50s. Inside, the Skylark was no less impressive, boasting premium leather upholstery, plush carpeting, and a richly appointed dashboard featuring the latest instrumentation and an AM radio. Powering the Skylark was Buick's new Nailhead V8 engine, a modern short-stroke design that delivered 170 horsepower from a 331 cubic inch displacement. This engine was paired with the Hydra-matic automatic transmission, providing smooth, effortless performance that made the Skylark as pleasant to drive as it was to admire. The car's suspension was tuned for comfort without sacrificing handling, ensuring a refined ride on America's often rough roads. Though it was a limited edition, the 1953 Buick Skylark made a lasting impact, proving that Buick could produce a convertible that combined beauty, luxury, and performance in a harmonious package. Today, it stands as a shining example of 50s automotive artistry and innovation, treasured by collectors and enthusiasts alike for its timeless appeal and rarity. Number 8. 1952 Lincoln Capri. The Lincoln Capri marked a pivotal moment in post-war American luxury, combining elegant design with robust engineering to produce a car that could compete with the finest European Grand Tourers of the era. Introduced as a replacement for the pre-war inspired Lincolns, the Capri showcased a fresh, modern design language with smooth, flowing lines and a stately presence on the road. Its spacious cabin was the epitome of comfort and refinement, boasting plush upholstery, wood trim, and the latest conveniences that defined early 50s luxury. Underneath its stylish exterior, the 1952 Capri was powered by a brand new overhead valve V8 engine, displacing 388 cubic inches and producing 250 horsepower. This power plant was a significant step forward for Lincoln, delivering strong, smooth acceleration and effortless highway cruising capability. The Capri's robust chassis and refined suspension system provided a balanced ride that combined comfort with surprisingly nimble handling for a full-size luxury sedan. One of the Capri's most notable achievements was its success in endurance racing, particularly the legendary Carrera Panamericana in Mexico, where it dominated its class from 1952 through 1954. This racing pedigree demonstrated the Capri's durability, performance, and engineering excellence, distinguishing it from other luxury cars that prioritize style over substance. Inside, the Capri featured power accessories, premium sound systems, and an ergonomically designed dashboard that prioritized driver convenience. Though production numbers were modest compared to more mass-market models, the Capri found favor among affluent buyers who desired a blend of American luxury and European-inspired performance. Today, The 1952 Lincoln Capri is remembered as a key chapter in Lincoln's Histra luxury sedan that proved American engineering could deliver both sophistication and serious driving credentials in the early post-war years. Its legacy lives on as a timeless classic and a symbol of American ambition in the luxury car segment. Number 7. 1952 Willys Arrow. The Willys Arrow was a remarkable entry in the compact car segment long before small cars became popular in America. Produced by Willys Overland, the Arrow was designed as an economical and practical vehicle during a time when the American market was dominated by large, fuel-thirsty cars. Its unassuming, rounded styling set it apart from the chrome-heavy giants of the early 50s, offering a more modest and functional approach to motoring. Underneath its compact body, the Willys Arrow featured a lightweight chassis that contributed to its excellent power-to-weight ratio. Powered by an inline six-cylinder engine displacing 210 cubic inches and producing around 78 horsepower, the Arrow could deliver lively performance relative to its size. Its relatively light weight meant it was nimble in urban traffic and capable of respectable acceleration for the era, appealing to buyers concerned with both economy and drivability. Fuel efficiency was a major selling point, as the Arrow's modest engine and efficient design offered superior gas mileage during a period of fluctuating fuel prices and economic uncertainty. The interior was straightforward but comfortable, with enough room to seat 4 passengers and a practical dashboard layout. Features like a column-shift manual, transmission, and minimal trim helped keep costs down, making it an attractive choice for budget-conscious consumers. Though overshadowed by larger competitors, the Willys Arrow carved out a niche for itself as a sensible, economical alternative in the early post-war market. Its blend of compact size, reasonable performance, and fuel economy anticipated the eventual rise of small cars in the United States by decades. Today, the 1952 Willys Arrow is appreciated as an early pioneer in American compact car design, representing the spirit of innovation and practicality in a sea of excess. Number 6. 1952 Cunningham C3. The Cunningham C3 was a stunning blend of American power and Italian elegance, born from the vision of racing enthusiast Briggs Cunningham, who sought to create a grand touring car that could compete on both the road and the racetrack. Unlike mass-produced cars of the era, the C3 was a bespoke machine with a hand-built aluminum body crafted by the renowned Italian coach builder Vignale in Turin. This rare fusion of American engineering and Italian design resulted in a car that was as beautiful as it was powerful, appealing to discerning collectors and celebrities alike. Under its sleek hood, the C3 was powered by a robust Chrysler V8 engine, displacing 490 cubic inches, delivering around 270 horsepower. This powerhouse was paired with a 3-speed manual transmission, providing spirited performance and impressive highway cruising ability for the time. The chassis and suspension were adapted from Chrysler components, but modified extensively to ensure agile handling that could rival European sports cars. Only about 25 Cunningham C3s were ever made, making it one of the rarest and most exclusive American sports cars of the early 1950s. The car gained fame not only for its looks and performance, but also for its racing pedigree, as Briggs Cunningham himself raced variants of his cars at prestigious events like the 24 Hours of Le Mans and the Carrera Panamericana. The C3 embodied Cunningham's passion for racing and craftsmanship, merging American horsepower with Italian artistry in a way few cars have since matched. Inside, the cabin was tailored for comfort and style, featuring fine leather upholstery, a wood-rimmed steering wheel, and a carefully laid-out dashboard with elegant instrumentation. Despite its rarity and performance, the C3 was designed as a true grand tour, capable of covering long distances in comfort and style. Today, the 1952 Cunningham C3 remains a legendary classic, prized by collectors for its rarity, history, and breathtaking blend of two automotive worlds. Number 5. 1951 Muntz Jet. The Muntz Jet was a bold and flamboyant 4-seat sports car born from the ambitions of Earl "Madman" Muntz, a colorful entrepreneur known for his innovations in car stereos and television sets. Designed to combine performance, luxury, and style, the Jet was one of the earliest American attempts to build a high-performance grand tourer that could seat 4 adults comfortably, a rarity in the early 50s. The Jet's striking fiberglass body was hand-built with smooth, rounded lines and a low, aggressive stance that caught the eye wherever it went. Powering the Muntz Jet was a choice of robust V8 engines, typically a Cadillac or Lincoln unit producing between 270 to 285 horsepower, delivering impressive performance for the era. This power, combined with a sturdy ladder frame chassis and relatively lightweight fiberglass body, made the Jet one of the fastest American cars of its day, capable of exceeding 120 miles per hour. The car featured a 3-speed manual or optional automatic transmission, providing drivers with a blend of performance and ease of use. Inside, the Jet was luxuriously appointed with leather seats, wood-trimmed dashboards, and well-crafted gauges, blending the refinement of a luxury car with the excitement of a sports car. Comfort and style were key priorities, making it suitable not just for spirited driving, but also for long-distance cruising and elegance. Despite its impressive credentials, the Muntz Jet was produced in very limited numbers, around 400 units due to the company's financial difficulties and the high price tag that made it accessible only to a select few. Though short-lived, the 1951 Muntz Jet remains a fascinating chapter in American automotive history, celebrated for its audacity, innovation, and unique blend of muscle, luxury, and style. Today, it is cherished by collectors as a rare and charismatic symbol of 50s ambition and creativity. Number 4. 1951 Nash Healey. The Nash Healey was a remarkable Anglo-American sports car born from a unique collaboration between the Nash Kelvinator Corporation and the legendary British racing driver Donald Healey. Designed to combine American power with British handling and style, the Nash Healey was crafted to offer spirited performance, with grand touring comfort, a rare combination in the early 50s. Its sleek, elegant body was pinned by Healey's team and built by Italian coach builder Pininfarina, resulting in stunning European styling that set it apart on both sides of the Atlantic. Under the hood, the Nash Healey featured a robust Nash inline 6-cylinder engine displacing 3.8 liters, producing around 130 horsepower. This power was channeled through a 3-speed manual transmission, delivering lively acceleration and impressive top speeds for its class. More importantly, the car's lightweight chassis and sophisticated suspension tuned by Healey gave it sharp handling and a comfortable ride, making it a joy on winding roads and long-distance journeys alike. One of the Nash Healey's crowning achievements was its outstanding performance at the grueling 24 Hours of Le Mans endurance race in 1952, where it finished third overall, a stunning feat for an American-powered car competing against well-established European manufacturers. This racing pedigree boosted the car's reputation for reliability, speed, and engineering excellence. Production of the Nash Healey lasted from 1951 to 1954, with just over 500 examples built. While never a mass-market vehicle, it appealed to enthusiasts who desired the combination of American muscle and European finesse. Today, the 1951 Nash Healey remains a treasured classic, celebrated for its cross-continental collaboration, distinctive style, and significant place in motorsport history. Number 3. 1951 Kaiser Henry J. The Kaiser Henry J was a bold experiment in American automotive affordability and simplicity, created during a time when the post-war boom was giving way to economic realities that made smaller, budget-friendly cars increasingly desirable. Designed and engineered by the Kaiser Frazer Corporation, the Henry J was intentionally stripped down to the essentials, making it one of the most affordable cars on the American market in its day. With a starting price under $1,000, it was aimed squarely at budget-conscious buyers who needed reliable transportation without frills or flashy features. The Henry J's design was straightforward and utilitarian, featuring a compact two-door body that prioritized interior space and practicality. Its styling was simple but clean, with minimal chrome trim and basic steel wheels, reflecting the no-nonsense approach Kaiser took to keep costs low. Inside, the cabin was Spartan, with vinyl bench seats, a basic instrument cluster, and limited options, all deliberately chosen to maintain affordability. Under the hood, the Henry J was powered by a modest 134 cubic inch 4-cylinder engine producing around 50 horsepower, paired with a 3-speed manual transmission. Though not powerful by contemporary standards, the car's lightweight construction allowed it to perform adequately for city driving and short commutes. Fuel economy was a strong selling point, as the Henry J could deliver better mileage than many larger cars on the road at the time. Despite its practical virtues, the Henry J faced challenges in a market dominated by the big three automakers and their larger, more powerful vehicles. It was also briefly sold through Sears as the Allstate, an unusual marketing experiment that failed to boost sales significantly. Nevertheless, the 1951 Kaiser Henry J remains a fascinating chapter in American automotive history, representing an early and earnest attempt to offer true economy and simplicity during a transitional era. Today, it is appreciated by collectors for its rarity and as a symbol of post-war innovation in budget car design. Number 2. 1951 Hudson Hornet. The Hudson Hornet was an iconic American automobile that combined innovative engineering with impressive performance, earning its place as one of the most celebrated cars of the early 50s. Built on Hudson's unique step-down chassis, the Hornet featured a lower center of gravity than virtually any other car on the road thanks to its design that positioned the floor pan inside the frame rails. This revolutionary construction enhanced stability, handling, and safety, making the Hornet feel more agile and planted than its full-size contemporaries. Under the hood, the 1951 Hornet boasted a powerful six-cylinder engine with a displacement of 308 cubic inches. Known for its twin-H, high-compression heads and optimized intake and exhaust flow, this engine produced between 170 to 190 horsepower, an impressive output for a straight-six at the time. This blend of power and engineering excellence allowed the Hornet to achieve remarkable acceleration and top speeds that made it a dominant force on the racetracks, particularly in early 50s stock car racing. The Hornet's success in motorsports especially, NASCAR cemented its reputation for durability and performance, with legendary drivers like Marshall Teague piloting it to numerous victories. Its combination of a low-slung, aerodynamic body and potent powertrain gave it a competitive edge over many V8-powered rivals. Beyond the track, the Hornet was a spacious, comfortable family car with a well-appointed interior, offering a refined ride and quality craftsmanship that appealed to discerning buyers. Despite fierce competition from the big three automakers, the 1951 Hudson Hornet stood out as a technological marvel and a performance icon of its era. Its engineering innovations and racing pedigree have left a lasting legacy in American automotive history, making it a prized classic among collectors and enthusiasts today. Number 1. 1950 Nash Rambler. The 1950 Nash Rambler was a groundbreaking vehicle that redefined what an American car could be in the post-war era. As America's first successful modern compact car, the Rambler arrived at a time when the market was dominated by large, fuel-hungry automobiles, offering an innovative alternative that combined practicality with upscale features. Nash Motors designed the Rambler to be smaller, lighter, and more efficient without sacrificing comfort or style, a daring departure from the prevailing automotive trends of the time. The Rambler featured a compact yet roomy body that provided ample interior space for passengers and luggage, demonstrating smart packaging and thoughtful engineering. Its modest dimensions made it ideal for urban driving and tight parking situations, long before these became critical concerns for American consumers. Nash equipped the Rambler with a reliable inline six-cylinder engine, which, while not powerful by today's standards, offered a smooth and economical ride, suitable for daily use. What truly set the 1950 Nash Rambler apart was its focus on upscale appointments, usually reserved for larger luxury cars. Features like reclining seats, an optional heater, and a stylish two-tone paint scheme made the Rambler feel more refined than many of its competitors. This attention to detail appealed to buyers who wanted a smaller car but still expected a degree of comfort and sophistication. Although compact cars were initially met with skepticism in the United States, the Rambler's success sparked the beginning of the American compact car market and influenced other manufacturers to follow suit. Its innovative approach proved that small cars could be practical, stylish, and desirable, paving the way for future generations of economical vehicles. Today, the 1950 Nash Rambler is celebrated as a pioneering classic that combined American ingenuity with a fresh vision for automotive design and consumer needs.